Serge Nubret is the new NABBA Professional Mr. Universe. It is his first major international title, and yet Serge is widely recognized as one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. Were it not for Arnold Schwarzenegger, Nubret might well have already won the coveted Mr. Olympia contest, the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. We had two opportunities to talk with Serge Nubret during September 1976, at a time when he was only a week from the Mr. Universe title. We talked with him only hours before he unaccountably lost to a very smooth Sergio Oliva at the WBBG Mr. Olympus contest. Unlike many top men who would have ranted and raved at the loss, Nubret took the decision with consummate dignity. We had a second opportunity to talk with Serge Nubret the following day. He was winding down his training at Tom Mancelo's Mid-City Gym in New York. We watched him train and later took a taxi to Central Park for outdoor color black and white photos. At 38 years of age, Serge Nubret has been competing periodically since the late 1950s. He feels he can train hard for another 5 years, a period during which he thinks he will become the best physique champion in the world. It would be difficult to find fault with Nubret's goal of becoming number one. To pick out a flaw in his physique is extremely difficult. His chest and shoulders are unequaled. His back, although he calls it a weak point, is superb. His arms, Serge's least favorite body part, are superior. His abdominals are slightly uneven on each side, but they are so sharply delineated as to cause gasps of amazement from anyone who sees Nubret tense his midsection. Even the formerly maligned Nubret legs are great from all angles. His small pelvis, trim waist, wide shoulders, and flaring lats give him an incredible V shape. Nubret stands a shade under 5 foot 10 inches and weighs a fraction over 200 pounds in contest condition. We asked his measurements, but aside from his body weight, he takes none, preferring instead to let the mirror guide his training. Just as estimates, his arms must be between 19 and 19.5 inches, chest over 50 inches, waist under 30 inches, thigh about 27 inches, and calf about 18 inches. On the personal side, Serge is president of the French Bodybuilding Federation, and he runs 2 modern health studios in Paris. Nubret also does a large amount of film work. He hopes soon to publish bodybuilding courses, but at the present he feels that lack of time will not permit this new venture. Nubret married soon after moving from his native Guadeloupe to Paris. He is divorced from his first wife, but has 2 boys of 13 and 10 with her. He remarried, and his second wife has presented him with a daughter, now 11 months old. Serge's wife attends the university where she will soon receive a law degree. Like Serge, she is a physical culturalist. Serge Nubret plans to tour the United States for a month in late August and early September of 1977. He will be giving posing exhibitions for a very reasonable fee. Any interested contest promoters can contact Serge through Bill Reynolds, Physical Education Department, 103 Harmon Gym, University of California, Berkeley, California, 94720. Bill will forward letters only for show promoters. Serge Nubret speaks excellent English, so the following interview was a pleasure to do. He laughs a lot and has an excellent sense of humor. We decided to concentrate on how he prepares for a major show. Here are the words of Serge Nubret.
Before we get into how you prepare for a contest, Serge, will you give the readers a general idea of how you usually train? What sets, reps, weights, how often?
I train very much by feel and follow no set program. After nearly 20 years of steady training, I have developed a very good rapport with my body. It tells me how much to do and when each body part has had enough. But to answer your question, I train 7 days a week all year long. Generally, I allot 1 hour per body part, doing perhaps 35 to 45 sets during that time. Most body parts receive 3 workouts per week, but the weak points, like my back and calves, I do 5 or 6 workouts each week. I never count sets because when you know your body, you will know when you've had enough.
Do you use heavy weights?
No, although when I was younger I did try to use large poundages. I do a large number of sets with relatively light weights, short rests and high reps of 12 to 15. My workouts vary constantly, since I do each day what my body tells me it needs. It is only with light weights that I can get a good pump and grow.
Do you train differently between contests than just before?
No, it is the same, except that I do taper off the last week before a large competition. I always train the same, but my diet is very different prior to a contest. I must be very careful about the diet.
What is the difference between your off-season diet and the one you follow before a contest?
My usual diet is very much like that of an ordinary person, except that I eat very large quantities of everything. I eat all foods except sugar, butter, and oils. No cakes, but I do eat spaghetti, rice, and other carbohydrates. When on the diet, I cut out the rice and all carbohydrates. I only eat meat, fish, take vitamins, and drink water.
What type of fish and what type of meat do you prefer?
I like tuna fish and horse meat.
Horse meat? Now wait a minute. We don't eat horses here in America.
Yes, I know that, but in Europe, we eat a lot of horse. It is very expensive there, but I prefer the taste to beef. In addition, horse meat is a bit leaner than beef.
Do you eat any chicken or turkey?
I don't like too much chicken, or any other poultry for that matter.
How much meat and fish do you eat per day?
On an average, about 3 kilograms, 6.6 pounds. When I first started using a pre-contest diet, and for many years I never dieted, I ate about 5 kilos, 11 pounds per day. Now I find 5 kilos to be too much, and I eat only 3.
How long ago did you begin watching your diet?
It was when I saw the German bodybuilder Karl Blomer at the Paris Mr. Universe contest in 1971. He was very defined at that contest, while before he had been relatively smooth every time I saw him. In only a year, he went from being fat to being unbelievably cut up. He was one of my friends, and naturally I was very curious, so I asked him the secret. Karl told me what to do, and it turned out that he had been on the diet I follow prior to the contest: meat, fish, water, and vitamin mineral supplements.
We noticed a few minutes ago that when Franklin Green offered you a protein drink, you refused it. Do you take protein supplements?
I definitely do take a protein supplement mixed with liquid. The reason I do not want it just then is that I will be eating in a few minutes. When you take a liquid protein before eating solid food like fish or meat, you can eat less of this solid food. You can, on the other hand, always drink a little more when you are full of meat. So it is after my meals that I usually take a liquid protein supplement.
Do you prefer to eat the meat and fish or the same number of grams of liquid protein?
I prefer the meat. Protein supplements should be used as supplements and not as the main source of food.
What vitamins and minerals do you take?
My diet includes all of the vitamins and minerals, but it is heaviest in the B complex group: B1, B6, B12, vitamin E, and vitamin C. Because of the lack of fruits and vegetables in my pre-contest diet, I take more vitamins and minerals in supplement form when preparing for a show.
Many American bodybuilders take desiccated liver. Do you use this supplement?
No, because in France it is very difficult to obtain a liver supplement.
And do you take kelp?
No.
Having traveled around the world, Serge, where did you find the best food?
Oh, in Guadeloupe, my homeland. I'm sure for you it would be in America.
In Guadeloupe, it is very much a fruit diet, isn't it?
Yes, up to a point. But in Guadeloupe, we have very fresh fish and very fresh meat. They cook with lots of seasoning, so the taste is very good in addition to the high nutritional value.
You eat very large quantities of food, and yet you always seem to be very muscular. How would you describe your metabolism?
I don't have any trouble losing fat, so I would say that it is good. Indeed, I never become very smooth regardless of what I eat, because I guest posed at a number of shows throughout the year. This is an advantage. I tend to look good in the off-season, but not as good as I want to for a competition.
What do you weigh at a contest as opposed to between contests?
About 96 or 97 kilos, 212, 214 and a half pounds. when I am in contest and 91 or 92 kilos, 200 or 200 pounds for a competition.
All of the countries in which you have posed, where did you receive the greatest reception?
I think you will find this strange, but it was in South Africa.
South Africa?
Yes, in Johannesburg, where there is now all of the racial turmoil. I had 20,000 people come to see me. The ovation was unforgettable.
About how much time a day do you practice posing in preparation for a competition or exhibition?
I seldom practice posing because it is somewhat of a natural talent for me and I give a large number of shows. I do individual poses occasionally to check my condition, but the sequence are seldom done.
Then how did you develop your posing routine?
It just gradually evolved. I do, as I said, a number of shows in Europe, maybe more than 25 per year. Being so many times in front of the public, I have become used to an audience, and my posing routine has gotten smoother and more dramatic with time.
When you were developing your routine, did you copy the poses of any famous bodybuilders that you admired?
No, I don't think I really copied anyone's poses, because bodybuilders have different types of physiques. I have evolved poses that agree with my own particular body. Thus, I do many poses with my hands down at my sides. Although I can do a double bicep pose, it is not included in my routine. Almost everyone does this pose, as you know, but it is not as good for me as other poses, and I must always strive to look my best.
In your opinion, what is the most ugly pose used by bodybuilders in competition?
Oh, the most muscular pose, without question. Unfortunately, however, you have to do it. If you don't, people today are not satisfied.
And what is the most beautiful pose?
There are many. One need only to look at the artworks of the great masters, Michelangelo, Rodin, and others. Unfortunately, such poses are not well suited for competitions.
We remember seeing photographs of you in competition in the Mr. Universe contest at Montreal in 1959. You did several very graceful poses with your arms stretched overhead, much like Steve Reeves. And yet now, you no longer include such poses in your routine. Is there a reason for that?
Yes, it is because it becomes necessary now to change a posing routine occasionally. Even next year, I will change my poses because you must pose for the audience and judges. You must give them what they want. If they want to see a particular type of pose, you must do it, but with your own interpretation. Also, if you don't change your poses periodically, they begin to look old. It is best to try to come up with something new and fresh each time.
Turning back to training methods, do you have any bodybuilders in your gym training the Serge Nubret way who will be champions soon?
My outstanding pupils for the future are many, and several will be great champions. One, his name is Lambert, seems to have the greatest potential. He is very young and has been training for only 3 years, but I am sure he will be Mr. Universe in 2 or 3 years. More of training. He has the best legs in Europe. He is good from the back, front, and side. He is very cut up.
As a final question, Serge, what are your goals for the future?
I will travel to London tonight to try to win the professional Mr. Universe title. He did. After that, I can continue hard training and competition for about 5 more years. In everything I do, I try to be the best. Bodybuilding is no exception. Added bonus for the readers watching Nubret train. We did have an opportunity to observe Serge Nubret training. As he said in the interview, he uses light weights. For benches, he was handling about 225, and for barbell curls, 100. He does his movements with very fast cadence and rests only about 30 seconds between sets. We noticed that he uses a very strict style with a complete range of motion. The day we watched, Nubret did chest, shoulders, arms, back, and calves. His exercises were chest, bench press, incline barbell press, narrow grip, stiff arm, pullover. Deltoids, seated press behind neck, upright rowing, lying on side laterals for rear delt. Biceps, narrow grip barbell curls, supersetted with benches, concentration curls. Triceps, lat pushdowns. Back, chins behind neck, lat pull down behind neck, dumbbell bent rowing. Calves, calf machine, freehand stretching, donkey calf work. We asked him for the other body part favorites, and he gave us these exercises. Thighs, hack slide machine, leg extension, leg curl. Abs, incline sit-ups, incline leg raises.